I'm particularly taken with the journey that you took, visiting all these places and finding and speaking with philosophers and religions and all that sort of thing. It sort of reminds me of Gurdjieff and his meetings with remarkable men. And I'm wondering how you undertook this. Could you tell us a little more about that journey?
There's the academic journey. It's the learnings that I have did, and there's the spiritual one. Are you referring to the spiritual one, or?
That's right. Noting that as you were looking for happiness, you studied the world's religions and philosophies and so on. I was particularly interested in that.
That's right. Actually, my mom used to laugh about this at an age of 16 years old. When my friends used to go to cinemas, I would get the Bible or the Quran, the Gita, or the Holy Book of the Hindus, and read it. I don't know, I always had a curious mind, so that's how it started. I was lucky enough, I got accepted to an engineering program in India, and that's really the land of spirituality and all world religions. And whenever I got the opportunity, I would travel to ashrams. Some of them are not so well known. Some of them are quite well known. One of the things that really contributed to this journey is that I have two life mottos. One is try to taste everything except the poison and learn as much as possible from everyone, whether they were gurus or beggars. And I would say that I have learned as much from people who are on the street or from a friend as much as I learned from gurus like Sai Baba or Osho or any other big names. So I spent 4 years in India, and that was a lot of time for me to go ask metaphysical questions, science questions about God, life, the self, the relationship. And only because I was so curious and I asked so many questions that I got so many answers that helped me really shape my view of the world, and of that foundation allowed me to overcome challenges. I've seen people with leprosy whose limbs are falling. I've seen both extremes, and that makes you ask so many questions, and therefore try to do more, to research more, read more, and find more. That's what it is. That's what actually drove, first, it's my curiosity to learn more, and second is the experience that drove me to learn and learn as much as possible about happiness. I would think I was happy as a child, but not as a teenager and not as a young adult. I was more intellectually driven. I'm more of the geek or nerd type, and I'm more introvert. But in time, as I have learned, I have built my own self-esteem, and I have confidence in me and in life and people around. I changed. I became an extrovert. I love networking, connecting to people. And the most important aspect of my development was my training. You know, when I said I always took notes from successes and failures, whether they were mine or the others, those notes really helped me a lot in training my mind to become happy. Let's talk about what I have learned rather than my journey or what led to it. I think most important lesson I learned from this entire journey would be the following. We've all heard the term, happiness is a choice. Happiness does not choose you. You choose happiness. You probably heard that too, did you?
Yes.
Okay. So I've heard that long time ago when I was young. It never really made me happy. What really made me happy is training my mind, having a daily program of positive thinking that would build enough circuits in my brain that my first instinct is, when I'm in any situation, is to look for the positive aspects of it and to look for opportunities in it, rather than the previous instinct that would be looking for faults or risks and trying to overcome them. So if I were to say what happiness is, I would agree that happiness is a choice, but more importantly, happiness is an action, or better yet, happiness is training. And my personal favorite, happiness is mind programming.
How did you train your brain to go from negative thinking to positive thinking?
Repetition is really key. Influence and repetition. Exposing your mind to positive sources and repeating on a daily basis those principles that I saw made other people happy. And automatically that repetition, Amy, what I have discovered is that people think, feel, and behave in patterns. I have no doubt about that. I can predict people. I do psychology profiling for leadership, and I can predict people that they will behave in certain situations the same way. Also, that's why you find most people are either cheerful most of the time, or depressed most of the time, or optimistic, or negative most of the time. You must know someone who you can call as an angry personality, or skeptical personality, or cold or warm.